Alright, so today on this episode of AMP, where art meets philosophy, I join the artist Genevieve Demarco in her home to discuss this piece of hers. Man, there's a lot going on here. Plenty. Okay, so what was your biggest influence on this piece, and what is the name of it?
The name of this piece is actually called Power. The biggest influence on this piece, it would definitely be just kind of the current events that's going on, different shootings of black youth and things of that nature. And also like the Black Lives Matter movement sort of played a little bit of part in it. And so I'm just kind of going, with the current events that's happening now in black culture.
I mean, there's a lot of writing here. Power, shoot, don't shoot.
Yeah.
Black.
Now, I guess the significance is power. It probably is the most positive word that's in the piece, and it's actually the only word that's kind of written once.
Okay.
Just because I wanted power to kind of stand out more than everything else. And power just kind of means, man, like we have the power for change. We have the power for positivity, and we have the power just to, kind of, I guess, do anything we want,
What do you think people will look at, see here, and not necessarily get at first glance or not take away immediately?
A lot. Yeah, at first glance you probably wouldn't see a lot. What you won't take out immediately, I mean, there's kind of a guy with his hands up right here. I don't think people will take that out or they'll notice that. And I don't think they will put the black face together because there's like the black crossed out, but there's actually the word face. I think that those are probably the most things that they wouldn't notice like offhand.
A lot of your art has, it's all a similar style.
Yeah. What
is it that you want your art to do for people? Like, what benefit when they see this and they walk away from it? How could they be like, you know what? I'm glad that I was able to experience what you put out into the world.
It kind of all depends on the picture, but I mean, at the end of the day, what I want people to see or what I want people to get from my art is just kind of like a sense of like happiness and just, I guess, a kind of sense of like wow, like that's, just, wow, like that's kind of really great, and that kind of did something for me. It could be like you're zen.
Okay.
You walk in the house, like whatever makes you happy, you're having a bad day, you're having a great day, but you just look at it and be like, you know what, like, kind of like zen.
I can see how, even though this has, I guess negative connotations because it's talking about don't shoot, it's in regards to violence, but at the same time it's spreading awareness.
Yeah.
And it's talking about power in the sense of if we have the power to create change, then we have the power to stop these incidents. Because I like how, for example, some of the don't shoots or some of the things, some are scratched out, some are not. So the thing is that these can be maybe related to incidents that don't happen, the things that we are able to change or that don't take place.
Yeah. I actually have to give credit because Basquiat definitely said when a word is scratched out, it brings more awareness, or it helps the eye kind of go to the word that's scratched out before it goes to anything else. So I actually kind of got that from him.
So in a way of trying to what would normally omit something, it brings light to it.
Yeah, it definitely does bring light to it in a way you're trying to omit it, definitely. I guess that's what's kind of going on in the world today. In the way you try to omit it, it definitely does bring light.
That's true. That's true. That does bring a lot. That's facts. Some things we'll just never know.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of things we'll actually never know, but change is always a blessing, and it just kind of adds, I guess, to the ambiance. This is kind of like a hand that kind of goes up here and also kind of here.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a real big hand, which is like hands up. It's referring to the kind of don't shoot. So.
How would you describe this character?
How would I describe that character?
This character here.
Those type of things, I always leave something for interpretation.
Okay.
So those type of things would definitely be for the viewer than the actual art.
This is my interpretation if I were to say this. Because each character in here is black in total.
Yeah.
For the most part. The main part of them is here, but this person who's off to the side in their own corner, different face, different color, it's kind of from the outside looking in. And it's different.
That's actually like a really great, that's a really great observation. That's awesome.
I think so, because there's a lot of things that if you're not within the problem, that you may not fully be able to realize, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
It's because you're not in it, you're not going through it, and you may not have the power to be able to fully understand that. Or you can try to, because the person is still a part of the whole.
Exactly. That's actually, excuse my language, that's actually a really great observation. I like that. That definitely makes a lot of sense. if you're on the outside. See, that's even how art goes. You can actually be in the process of doing something you don't even understand the change you might make.
You don't know what you push. You may know what you initially want to put out into the world, but once it's out into the world, it's no longer yours.
Exactly, and it's all the viewer's perspective of it, so you don't even understand the power that you might have whenever you put something out into the world.
Mm-hmm. What is the significance of that word or placement or that being there? It's like far left as far as maybe left.
I feel like
kind of out there, or
well, yeah, I feel like the significance of the word left, it does mean kind of far left. Can just say that the guy over here is far left, and he's definitely not understanding exactly what's going on.
I would say it comes down to a level of understanding or the lack of understanding, because there's a lot of things that are omitted in order to draw your attention. There is a difference in a level of contrast, heavy contrast. I mean, the entire piece is.
I love contrast. I definitely love contrast. I love color. I definitely love contrast.
The strong contrast, because it's two things being so different, they make one another stand out.
I definitely think in this piece it needed a lot of color. Because as far as power goes and the message that I'm trying to portray, I definitely think we need color. We need it to stand out. And there's a lot. I mean, it's always a lot of layers. So I like layers. Layers make me happy.
And that's what it's about. It's
about like 5 or 6 layers probably. Layers make me happy. I love layers.
I agree.
Love it. I love to start under and over. Kind of like I feel like kind of you listen to like your favorite CD. The first song you like might be your favorite, but every week you kind of change, you know? Okay. I feel like looking at a painting or art is kind of the same, you know? So you might notice something that you didn't see before, or after looking at it so long, you might feel like, okay, this is like now my favorite part. Okay. Right? This was my favorite part. So I kind of feel like the more layers you have and everything, it's just kind of more in depth you can find.
So the longer
Which is like the meaning of everything. Anything you want to research, anything you want to, like, the more you research, the more you find.
That makes absolutely a lot of sense, because it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
It varies what you're drawn to for what is already here.
Yeah.
For example,
I agree.
You have this man over here with the hands up, and this may be your key focus depending on where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
You know, you may feel like surrender. You may feel as if things are difficult, or you might just be saying, hey, I'm just going to leave it all. I'm going to leave it all in the air.
Yeah.
And then there may be another time where you're feeling outcasted.
Yeah. Or
you're feeling off to the side, or you feel like, you know what, I just need to get me together. I'm going to take care of me. Or you may just feel pretty different. you might just be different. But I like that comparison though. It's like music. You just, the longer that you have it, the more that you can appreciate different parts of it more so.
So there's always things that you notice that you didn't notice before that you can relate to.
One thing I'm noticing continuously throughout is the C.
The copyright?
Right.
The copyright sign. It just kind of goes with my logo, which is copyright GD.
You have to leave your mark.
Yeah, you do. Always.
Always.
No matter what you do, you have to leave your mark.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stand for something, or you'll fall for anything.
True statement. That's placed there. Why appropriate?
Appropriation, I think it kind of fits in with the actual message that we're going. Whenever you say like blackface, have you seen in history where blackface has been done? And you know, it's just not a cool thing to do, and kind of appropriation is kind of sort of the same thing, and it's kind of sort of right there along blackface.
All right, it fully just sunk in. So you're saying it's not cool in the same way that you have blackface and the way that you try to make things appropriate. So it's like, you know what? Let's take this bad and then start making this okay.
Or just to bring awareness. And it's all positivity to me. Like I kind of feel.
As it should.
Peace.
All right. And then we're talking about face. Face can be taken at many things. I mean, obviously, when you applied it to here, it was in regards to blackface.
Definitely. It was just in regards to blackface. It's always been something, you know, that black people have seen as kind of negativity. That's kind of negative. Appropriation is kind of, you know, negative. And so we just kind of want to bring awareness to it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we can all just grow from it. And
I'm going to say you can't take things, or you can't take everything at face value.
Exactly.
So I was thinking just now, I was like, okay, face. There's a lot of things you have to go beyond just the first look or beyond the surface to be able to see what's really going on. Darkness cannot drive out more darkness.
Exactly.
Only light can do that. So you have to bring light to the situation.
I should have put light in.
Should have
put light. I might redo it and might put light. You're definitely right. Light
Okay.
is definitely, that would definitely fit here.